busy families don't always have time to make everything from scratch. So we've taken our 8 delicious mixes and made variations on them so you can have a delicious dessert in a fraction of the time it would take you to make it from scratch, using our mixes and a few simple ingredients. Today we're going to show you how to make one of my favorites, which is fruity cake squares. The first thing you're going to need is to gather a couple of really simple ingredients. First thing we're going to use is 2 sticks of casein-free margarine. We're going to put them in a bowl. And then we're just going to take the electric mixer and we're just going to beat them just a little bit to make them fluffy. To those 2 sticks of margarine, we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 cup of rice milk. You can use regular milk if you don't have a problem with dairy, 4 large eggs, and we're going to put in an entire bag of the yellow cake mix. And then we're just going to mix that until it's all combined. We're going to clean off our beaters, and we're going to put aside about 1 cup of this mixture to top our pie squares with. You notice that the batter is really thick, much thicker than for a cake. So we're going to take about 1 cup of this, put it aside. Then we're going to take the rest, and I've greased a cookie sheet, and we're just going to pour the rest of this, well actually it's not quite going to pour, you're going to spoon the rest of this batter into the cookie sheet. If you were doing this with cherry pie filling, instead of the vanilla, you could use almond extract, and that'll give it even a better cherry flavor. But where I'm using the lemon pie filling today, I just use the vanilla extract. You're going to take this and spread it evenly over the bottom of the pan, making sure to get it into the corners. You want to try to get it nice and even, so you don't have any high spots. I've been preheating my oven to 350 degrees while I made the cake squares. And sometimes it's helpful to use a little spatula to finish evening it out. It's a little easier to handle than the big one. It's kind of like frosting a cake. Once you've got it nice and even, you're going to take the entire contents of a pie filling. Today we're using lemon, and it can either be a 14-ounce or a 20-ounce. The 20-ounce will give you a little bit thicker filling layer, but either one will work nicely. There are quite a few pie fillings out there right now that are gluten-free. Just make sure the one you selected is. So you're just going to take your pie filling and you're going to spread it evenly over the cake layer. As I said, we're using lemon today. My favorite's cherry. It's really good with blueberry. I've also made it with an apple pie filling and served it warm with a non-dairy ice cream. So you can really change it up however you want to. Once you get your filling pretty even, then you're going to go back to cake batter that you've saved. I'm just going to get this out of the way. And you're going to start spooning it over the top of the lemon pie filling. And you don't have to be exact with this, just get some lumps on there. Just make sure you've got some that cover the entire pan. And then we're going to just spread that a little bit, but you want to leave the lemon peeking through. You don't want to completely cover it. I find this works best with 2 spoons. I brought this to a support group meeting one night, and before I could turn around and have a piece myself, it was totally gone. Okay, then once you've got your batter spooned on there, you're just going to take your spatula again and you're just going to kind of press these down and flatten them out a little bit before it goes in the oven. Again, that's going to be a 350 degree preheated oven. You're going to bake these for about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on your oven. I'd check it at like 30. You're going to want to make sure the cake is cooked, but if you cook it too long, it's going to get more like a cookie crust. Might like it that way, but if you want a softer cakey kind of crust, then the 35 minutes is probably going to do it. Okay, so I think that looks just about right. So we're going to take that, we're going to pop it in the oven for about 35 minutes. The lemon squares are done. We cooked them at 350 degrees for 35 minutes, and I was just about to sprinkle them with a little powdered sugar before I served them to my guests. Like I said, you can make these with cherry pie, you can make them with blueberry pie filling, but my husband's favorite is the lemon squares. For a written copy of this recipe and other delicious ideas using the Little Bay Baking Company mixes, visit our website at littlebaybaking.com.